Bonjour, buongiorno, marhaban. Did I get that right? Marhaban. Shalom. Hello. How are you? I'm excited to be here. Of course. Why? Because I'm always so excited. I'm always so excited. And today's no exception. What am I excited about? Well, we're going to get to that. Okay. One thing is that I have an open house tonight for the Mighty MoJo Club, and I love doing the open house for the Mighty MoJo Club. And no, it's not too late for you to RSVP at mojomedium.com. So I am your hostess with the mostest. This is Magic and Meaning with MoJo Medium, and today we are talking about I'm MoJo. I'm MoJo. I am. And that means that I am a manifestation genius. I am your spiritual mentor. And I'm also, a little bit of a psychic medium for like 15, 16 years. So, hi, I'm MoJo Medium. And today we're going to talk about, on Magic and Meaning, what does Let's MoJo mean? How do you MoJo? Okay, you might have noticed that MoJo is actually a riff on my last name. My name is Susan Morrow Johnson. So Mo for Morrow and Joe for Johnson. MoJo comes together, but it's also a word that means your essence, like who you really are, um, how you do things, what you find success with, your gifts, your talents, your luck, and that's what your MoJo is. And so one time, I got married a few years ago, and my last name became Morrow Johnson instead of just Morrow. And it was about 6 months before I recognized that, oh, that makes MoJo. How about that? And so I came up with MoJo Medium, and I handed my business card to somebody one day, and they looked at it and said MoJo Medium, and they went, that mean you help people find their mojo? And I was like, oh my God, yes, it is. I'm not just a psychic medium. I also am a coach, and I help people find their mojo. When you find your mojo, you love your life. Yes. So I came up with Let's MoJo. Yay, Let's MoJo as I guess it's a tagline, but it means, let's work on this stuff together. Let's do mojo woo woo things together. Hold on, I need to move this a little bit. There we go. All right, I don't know if that's any better or not, to tell you the truth. So let's mojo. So it's kind of like, you may have heard the expression "let's rodeo." Came out in maybe the 70s or the 80s, at least here in Texas. Let's rodeo. And so it turned rodeo into a verb, and I've turned mojo into a verb. Let's mojo. But what does that mean? How do you mojo? Well, it is a broad thing brought to you by abroad, from abroad. And it is all about your mojo, right? So, how do you find your mojo? First of all, how do you figure out what your gifts and talents are? This started for me when I was in my 30s. I spent pretty much the whole decade wondering, what are my gifts and how do I use them in service to others? And it started out when I don't know, I've always been philosophical. And I had a job, a career in property management, facilities management, commercial real estate management. And I was good at it and I loved it. I had a job that I just really loved. I loved my staff. I loved my boss. I loved my buildings. I just was like really, really happy there. But I had this nagging feeling that that wasn't what I was exactly supposed to be doing, like I just felt and probably was taught in church that you should use your gifts in service to others. Like it says in Matthew about let your light so shine so that others will see your good works. And I really believe that that means that we all have gifts that are meant to be shared. And we also may have gifts that are not meant to be shared, but that's a story for another time. So we all have gifts that are meant to be shared. And the thing about them is those gifts, your mojo is going to feel great when you do it. Okay. If you are, it's easy to say, well, it's a gift or a talent if you are, musical or artistic or, if you can write and those sorts of things. We think of the creative and performing arts when we talk about talented, but think about gifted and talented programs in schools. Those kids are not necessarily artists. They are really good at math and really good at language and really good at other things that we don't think of as creative and performing arts, right? So they may be creative. The kids in gifted and talented programs probably are creative. My daughters were, but that's not talking about what those gifts and talents are. So when you find your mojo and figure that out, when you start using your gifts, then you feel good. It feels good to do what you're good at, right? And a lot of times, of course, talents are not ignored exactly, but just sort of shrugged off by the talented because because it seems easy to us. And if it's easy to you, you may not realize that it's not easy for everybody. My dad used to lecture me on this all the time. At me and I've told my daughters, you're good at X, Y, and Z, and that is not easy for everybody. That's easy for you. It's not easy for everybody. I tell you what, getting on here and doing a live show, a broadcast, a video, and also a podcast, super easy for me. I have absolutely no qualms about it at all. I love doing off the cuff. I love doing a prepared speech. I just taught a class about the chakras yesterday. All this kind of thing is easy peasy to me. It doesn't matter if I'm on camera, on recording, or on stage in front of, it doesn't matter how many people. I've been doing it all my life. I love it. It feels good. And that's how I share that gift with you. So think about that when you're thinking about your gifts and talents. What feels good when you do it? And I'm not talking about dirty stuff, just what feels good to do. What do you lose time in? That's how it is to find your mojo, okay? And then how you use it in service to others is up to you. You can use it as let's take an example. Let's say that you are good at, let's say you're good at math, just math in general. Really, really good at math, and you love doing it, and you love puzzles, and you love to sit down and work on a good theorem, and you just love to do things like that. So how can you use that gift in service to others? Well, one very obvious option is to teach, right? If you're really good at that, you may want to teach. But what if you're good at math, but you don't really care for teaching? Maybe you want to be an accountant. Maybe you want to be a corporate accountant. Maybe you want to be a public accountant. And then, I'm spitballing here with examples so that you can extrapolate that to what your talents are. And if you don't know what they are, I have a whole way of helping you do that. We're not doing that today because we're talking about how do you mojo? What is Let's Mojo? So when you find what you have, and let's say you've got your math under control, well, maybe you want to create puzzles. Maybe you want to work in a university where you're not teaching, but you're doing math work. Maybe you want to apply it in applied mathematics, in chemistry, or in psychics. No, that's me. In physics, in something that uses math and needs your favorite way to do math. So those are the things that you can do with that particular gift in service to others. And when I say in service to others, I don't mean servitude. All right. If you are using your gifts and you would like to get paid to use your gifts, you may do that. Now, it may not be easy for you to turn the gift of singing into paying work. It's not always easy, right? We all know that about performing. But it doesn't mean that you can't make money doing it. A lot of teachers are frustrated actors. And, like what I just said about it's really easy for me to perform or to speak or to teach because it feels good to me. I'm good at it and it's easy. Well, I spend a lot of time on stage. and I have done a lot of public speaking and a lot of training and a lot of teaching, one-on-one and groups and so forth. That's the kind of thing that, yeah, I loved being on stage. I loved acting. I loved speech in school. I loved speech tournaments and acting and performing. But this is the way that I use that particular gift in service to others. This is how I monetize that gift, if you will. And there is no sin in getting paid to do what you love. I mean, I think we have a big problem with that, just culturally and religiously and morally. And, we live in a guilty world, right? We're guilt ridden people, and we're supposed to be humble and grateful and contrite. And so, ta-da, here I am. One of the ways that you mojo is you get paid for what you love to do. Why not? It is fantastic. It's not in the Bible, that verse that I quoted in Matthew is not about, it's not shaming you. It's not saying you have to give away everything that you have. And I'm not talking about the part about giving away everything you have. I'm talking about giving away your heart, your soul, your mojo, giving away your gifts, giving away your services. You don't have to give that away. I mean, do you go to the doctor and not expect the doctor to be paid? No, that person, that doctor, has a gift for healing, for science, for helping people feel better, and wanted to do that. And that feels good to that person. And so that person went into a profession that is paid for that. And that is true of any gift that you have, anything you want to do. You are worthy of making money at it if you want to. And I tell you what, another thing that we do that brings us to another thing we do in, terms of Let's Mojo, what mojo is, what mojoing is. Look at that, I've got it up there. What we do is work on our worthiness. And this is a big, big issue for most of us. Like I said, we live in a guilty culture, right? If religion doesn't give it to you, somebody else sure as hell will. So getting over guilt and developing a strong sense of worthiness is really important. Really, really important. Um, Worthiness is the bedrock of all manifestation. And that's what we do when we mojo. We are manifesting the things that we want, love, and enjoy. We find that we're worthy of being, doing, and having what we want. And we find our gifts and share them in service to others, use them in service to others for money or not. I'm not saying you have to get paid for using your gifts. If you want to volunteer, that's great. And in fact, if you feel like you have to work at whatever job you're working at and you're sufficiently good at it, like I was a property manager and facilities manager, and I loved it. I could keep working at that and I could psychic on the side for money or not. Or I could use my gifts in some other way. I can be in community theater, for example. That's using my gifts in service to others. So, and if you think that entertainers are not providing a service, if they're not using their gifts in service to others, think about the last time you went to a concert. I'll give you a minute to think about it. The last time you went to a concert, did you feel moved at all in any way? Did you feel changed? Did you feel excited? Did you, did you walk out of there going, well, that sucks? Well, okay, maybe if it sucked and you won't get those 2 hours back, that's a bad example. But last time you went to a concert that you enjoyed, what was it like? What did you feel like when you left? Was it just like, wow, this is so great, and I'm so glad I went, and I feel good, and oh my gosh, I'm going to go home and write a song, and oh, I love them so much, and how do they play the guitar? I'm going to go play the guitar. Whatever that is in service to you. So yes, entertainers also are providing a service with their gifts. Cool. Here's another thing about Let's Mojo. And by the way, all of this stuff is in the Mighty Mojo Club, which is my online community where the woo-woo people meet and share, create, learn, and become. It's about your spiritual path, wherever you are on it. And it's about finding your gifts, your mojo, finding your mojo and loving your life. Okay, I've got something to show you. This is a tangible example of how you mojo. This is my I'm So Excited book. My I'm So Excited book. It's got a little smiley face, and I wrote on the front in gold marker, I'm so excited, and put a heart with little throbbing motions around it, and a smiley face. Pardon me. So in my I'm So Excited notebook, it's a very small one, I write down the date. First, I started with I'm so excited, and the book came with a smiley face, so that's okay. Um, and then every once in a while, not every day, but often, I start my day when I sit at my desk. I pull out my little I'm so excited notebook, and I write down the date, and I write I'm so excited, and then I put why. So, as an example, okay, after my second COVID shot, that baby put me down for 3 days. I was literally in bed for 3 days after my second COVID shot. I know I'm an old lady, but I still got an immune system and it works. so, um, so I wrote down, I'm so excited to feel better, even great, following 3 days in bed after my COVID shot. Yay. I'm also excited to get 2 new Evil Queen candles. And if you haven't seen Evil Queen candles, if you haven't experienced them, this woman is using her gifts in service to others. Check out shopevilqueen.com. And no, I'm not getting any money for saying that. Let's see here. I'm so excited to get 2 new Evil Queen candles in the mail today. Yay. That was just one day. Little things, big things. I'm so excited we're getting a new air conditioner. I was excited to get a new air conditioner. Our old one broke. And, you know, my mom's like, oh, no, it's so awful. It's so expensive, blah, blah, blah. We had been saving for this and planning for it. We knew that the unit was going to go out. And we decided we were going to replace it. I was excited about it. It's much better than not having an air conditioner, right? So you can find things to be excited about and write them down. And let me tell you something about this I'm So Excited project, this I'm So Excited book. Yes, it is similar to a gratitude journal. Absolutely. I am personally not a big fan of a gratitude journal. Why? Well, because it hasn't worked for me. If that makes sense, it hasn't worked for me. Gratitude's terrific, but excitement is even better. So I write down, I'm so excited, and then pick something. You can always be excited about something. And if you think that, no, you're never excited about anything, think again, baby. All right. So the other thing I've done is I've started a worthiness notebook. This one is not cute. It's just one that my husband had. And it is lined, and it also has cool little grid lines that little dotted lines that run vertically. And I like that because I like grid paper, graph paper. So I am worthy of. It's the same with the I'm excited notebook. I'm so excited notebook, except this time I am worthy of. And I'm worthy of all kinds of things. And I'm not going to share that with you because it's personal, but I'll give you an example that you might want to use for yourself. I am worthy of love, joy, and abundance. Those are the biggies. Those are the biggies, baby. We are all worthy of love, joy, and abundance. How and why? Because we all have a chunk of the divine in us, right? That we commonly call the soul, or I like to call her Chunky Divine, which also happens to be my stripper name. So we all have this chunk of the divine, and that, if you think about the divine, whatever you want to call it, God, universe, higher self, the creative collective, the force, source energy, whatever you call it, it is worthy, isn't it? Is it worthy? How can you say it's not? So you have that in you. So you are simply in being worthy of love, joy, and abundance. You are worthy of being, doing, and having what you want. I have lots of those little triplets. Love, joy, and abundance. You're worthy of being, doing, and having what you want, love, and enjoy. And you're worthy of not settling for the same old dookie. And that's what Let's MoJo is about. That's what I mean when I'm saying Let's MoJo. You see me all over my stuff saying Let's MoJo, sitting at the beach or sitting in a big blue chair or popping out of a plant. Let's MoJo. So that's what that means. That's what that means. Come on with me. Join the Mighty MoJo Club. Come with me and let's mojo. Let's do it together. I'll help you to figure out your gifts and your path and your destiny. And when you find your mojo, you will love your life. That's it. Wrapping it up. And I haven't learned to say goodbye in all the languages yet, so I'll work on that for you. So for now, I'm just going to say so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I have figured it out. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you next time.